We've got some more breaking news for you. The Michigan Senate just followed the State House and has now passed a bill to make Michigan a right-to-work state. The vote was 22-10-16, if I have that right. Just minutes ago on this program, Governor Rick Snyder said he would sign the bill. So now that it's passed, it looks like it's going to happen. Imagine that. The union workers' paradise going right to work. Holy cow. Anyway, residents of the Los Angeles area seniors complex are up in arms over the owner's order to take down the Christmas tree along with menorahs because they're religious symbols. The company has owned the complex for 4 years and won't comment about the order. People who live there a while say this has never happened before. We say drop the ban and light up that tree and the menorahs. Let there be religious freedom and no secular tyranny. And by the way, they are Christmas trees. Don't forget that. Now, for a moment, forget about the fiscal cliff. The U.S. is already in a recession and has been since July. That, according to my next guest. Here now at details on this recession call is Lakshman Akuthan, the distinguished co-founder and chief operating officer of the Economic Cycle Research Institute. All right, Lakshman, we've been talking about how world stock markets are rallying, but you're saying watch out because we've already entered a recession.
Yeah, we know the market is not the economy. The economy, well, you knew Jeffrey Moore.
I did very well.
And you knew the indicators that are used to define recession. They're not cherry-picked. They are very, very specific. They've been defining them for decades, almost a century now.
What are they?
They are production, income, sales, broad sales, and employment. That is it. And when they peak collectively, that is a telltale sign that you have turned the corner on the business cycle and are headed down.
And what about production has come down. I agree with you. Income has come down. Sales has come down. Employment, however, is still rising.
Well, first off, on production and income, you have not seen the simultaneous decline that we have now in over half a century. You've never seen it outside of a recession, and you've always seen it inside of a recession, and both of those peak in July. Broad sales, thus far, the peak is in July. That's the high point. We'll see what happens. On employment, it's still rising. I grant you that. That's your best argument.
Employment is still rising.
The jobs growth is still positive. Now, that is not inconsistent with a recession. In 3 out of the last 7 recessions,
it happens.
It has happened, and we had a really weird one in the 70s. Jobs growth went on for 8 months after the recession began.
It can be a lagging indicator.
Yeah.
All right, so you have some obvious things to think about here. GDP is still rising, and the Federal Reserve is super easy, and we may have a humongous tax hike. Now, the humongous tax hike plays right into your scenario, but you're saying...
Makes a bad situation worse.
Make a bad situation worse. What about the Fed easing, for example, and the fact that GDP is still rising?
All right, let me take GDP first. A lot of people don't know that it's very common for the first quarter, the quarter that a recession begins, to be positive. On average, it's about 2%. And after the recession begins, you get massive revisions to GDP. In the last couple of recessions, the quarterly revisions on GDP after they began were between 2 and 4 percentage points. That's huge revisions.
So let me go back to the fundamental
And then stocks.
point.
So you have stocks up.
Stocks are up. Fed has made interest rates rock bottom, and the Fed has poured in money supply.
Actually, I would flip that around.
Have you ever had a recession, seriously, question, with the Federal Reserve so easy and with financial conditions so easy and with the money supply so rapid? This is a serious point. You may be right, but I'm just saying the last 20 seconds.
Look, you've never seen the kind of attempt to pump money into the economy that you're seeing now, both by the Fed, led by the Fed, and worldwide. And that's the result. Those 4 indicators are the result.
Yeah.
So the indicators
it hadn't worked.
It hasn't worked. And
the use of money, the turnover of the money is all going negative.
Look, the stock market going up, it's not the economy, and we've seen in 20% of the last 15 recessions, stock market went up through the recession. 26, 27 is one to look at.
I hope you're wrong, but I really appreciate your acumen. Many thanks. Lakshman Akuthan with plenty of acumen. That's it for this evening's show. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stocks say good times are coming. Lakshman said beware of a recession. I just know I'm Larry Kudlow. We'll see you tomorrow night.